I would like to thank you for taking the time to watch these short little videos. I'd like to chat a little bit about some of the stuff that's been going on worldwide. Seems like everybody's doomed and things of that sort. So I'd like to draw your attention to the process of light versus the process of darkness. Now, if everybody was aware of the process of light, then all would be pretty good because we'd find the process of darkness to be boring. However, because we're not quite there yet, it's important to be aware of a few odds and ends. For example, every breath you take, as have mentioned before in other videos, contains so much love, understanding, compassion, you can take a path of light or path of darkness. Therefore, there's no what you call judgment or anything of that type of sort. And the other thing I'd like to bring to people's attention also is the fact is that there's approximately 10 to 20 million bolts of lightning per year. And unlike some people would like to see, through their anger and their hate, that somebody gets struck down by lightning because they pissed off the big cheese or some religious icon. No, it doesn't work that way. In fact, the best I can recollect on the issue of lightning and people getting struck, out of those 10 to 20 million bolts of lightning per year, and I think the number's much higher, but I'll have to do some research on that, probably 2 or 3, 4 golfers per year get nailed. So 2 things we can deduce from this. Number one, the story is completely bunk that the big cheese is sitting up on a chair with some attitude problem, going to strike somebody down with bolted lightning or hit them with a hammer or whatever the case may be because they have a bad attitude. Or the mere fact he's a lousy shot. And third, the story is completely bunk. So, what do we have? Well, we still have people who have the right to work a path of darkness, and that is their right to do so. The interesting thing about it, though, is those that work the darkness hide from light. I mean, after all, if they allow the light to come in, the darkness would no longer exist. Their selfishness, their desire to control things would be exposed, and everybody be aware of what they're doing. And for the most part, that'll pretty well be the end of that. So what do? They initiate actions, and then they blame the people that they're trying to attack on the very actions they're initiating. So for example, if I wanted to work the dark side on something or whatever the case might be, I might find a really nice and holy individual that's really good qualities, whatever, and I would blame them for this or that. I would claim that they're doing weird stuff or worshiping the devil, that type of stuff, and I do it with such emotion and such sales professionality and great language and emotion that a lot of individuals will fall right into it. However, the funny thing about it is, it would be I who is the one that works in the path of darkness, not the person I'm putting the blame on. I'm bringing this up to draw to your attention to further examine the nature and motivations of those making all these accusations. Look a little closer. Check out their energy. Check out the feeling. And determine whether your response is purely emotional or is what you're seeing something you don't want to face yourself. After all, we all have our weaknesses, and that's okay. Once we learn of those weaknesses, we got 2 choices. We can dissolve them and move forward, learn, and advance, or we can dissolve or devolve further into the weaknesses, anger and hate, where only the dark side of our qualities exist. Not only that, it's a lot more work when you really think about it. Love, understanding, compassion, honesty, honor, and humility is easy. It's in every breath you take. You don't have to work at it. Be kind. Allow the other person the right to be without wisdom. Do not look upon other people as inferior or superior to you. They're breathing the same air you and I have. We all have the same breath. We all have the same light. So, with that in mind, I think the bottom line here is do the best that you can, be loving, understanding, compassionate, but don't be a pacifist. That way you'll be able to maintain your respect and your honor, and one of those days you get really frustrated and have a temper tantrum, go find a pillow and beat the heck out of it. release some frustration and tension, and later you'll understand further what was involved and allow yourself to be free of some of those discomforts that no longer serve you. And the bonds of the work, the good work that is, I'm always in appreciation.